Hi, I'm Stuart from the Caravan Camping Industries Association and welcome to our Ask an Expert video. I'm here with Ashleigh from the home of 12 Volts up at Mount Barker, and we've got a few questions here that's really aimed at the novice or the newbie to caravan camping, and Ashleigh is going to be able to answer all our questions. So I won't muck around, I'll get straight into it. So Ashleigh, about 90% I'd say of all products sold, caravans, camper trailers, motorhomes, all have pretty much batteries in there.
Yes.
I don't know a lot about the battery systems, but if you were looking at buying a system to install on a current camper trailer or caravan, really what do I need to get started?
Okay, so basically the battery is the heart of the system. The battery is what everything will run through. So your appliances will run off the battery, your chargers will charge into the batteries, be it solar, 240 volt, or your vehicle charging. So starting off with a good deep cycle battery is number one in any system. And then from there, what size you go to or what appliances.
Is there an average size that you suggest is kind of like a good size?
The most common batteries on the market is between 100 and 120 amp hour size.
Okay, yep.
Most commonly built, so they are the most cost effective for amp hour versus cost of the battery. And they do fit in the standard battery boxes as well.
So that's, around about this big?
Yeah, about your average car size battery.
Okay, excellent. So how do I charge a battery?
The main methods of charge would be through your vehicle, through 240 volt or through solar panels. You can use a generator as well, but using generators you should be having a 240 volt charger connected to the generator, then going to the battery. Most batteries are deep cycle, so they're completely sealed, so they need way of being regulated.
So when you say for 240, do you mean that you need like a car battery charger at home, you pre-charge it and you put it into your car or your camper trailer?
Similar to that. The old style car battery chargers, they were more so designed for wet cell type batteries. So there are special regulated chargers these days, which 90% of the chargers on the market will be suitable for your deep cycle type batteries. But it is important really to get a regulated battery charger.
Okay. And when you talk about charging off the car, you mean off the alternator. Now, what's the difference between a smart alternator and an alternator, a dumb alternator or a smart? What is the actual difference about this smart alternator?
Okay, so from basically 2010, we've found that a lot of these new model vehicles are starting to come out with what they call smart or variable alternators. Two major issues with smart alternators is you may have what we call a load sensitive alternator, which means that it's only active when there's load on the alternator.
Can you explain? No, I understand that. I'm keeping up with you.
Or you might have a variable alternator, so it kicks in and out.
Okay. So does that mean that if my car battery's charged and then I've got my battery pack in my car, it will think that the car battery's charged so I don't have to put out as much amps to charge it, therefore the battery in the back of the car won't charge fully, is that right?
Exactly. So with a lot of these smart alternators, as soon as the main battery reaches fully charged, the alternator basically goes to sleep.
I need one of these on my car. I need a different charger because at the moment mine doesn't fully charge.
Yeah.
But I got a brand new car, so I'm trying to figure that out.
So the DC charger basically holds the demand on the alternator and charges the main and the secondary battery until they're both fully charged.
And is that called a DC to DC charger?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah, DC to DC or DC battery charger. It's not needed in all vehicles. Even some vehicles that are newer models, they don't necessarily need a DC charger. So again, it is more important for our customers to contact us.
But yeah, so you know they can just give you a buzz.
Yeah.
All right, in terms of, so we talked about size, but when you talk about a 120 amp hour battery, you're saying is roughly what you'd recommend. So say if I had a fridge, like a 40 litre fridge, there are multiple brands around, but if you looked at the standard type of compressor driven 40 litre fridge, how long would that 120 amp hour battery last for?
Again, there's a lot of variables with fridges. So ambient temperature, how full the fridge is, how often you're even in and out of the fridge. These all contribute.
We'll have a ballpark figure.
A ballpark figure, roughly a 40 litre fridge would draw anywhere between 20 and 30 amps a day for a full 24 hours. So 120 amp hour will give you anywhere between 3 and 4 days.
So you get the 120 amps divided by how many amps it uses, and you divide them and you come up with a rough figure how long it lasts for.
But it's important to notice as well, to realise that you're most likely running other appliances, your lights, your water pumps, everything else. So they all contribute. So if you,
hair straightener,
whatever else you put on the system, that's all going to take power out of that
there as well.
120 amp hour battery as well.
And so, if I was going to charge that battery from being pretty flat or low, how long will it take if I'm driving around and I had a proper charging kit installed in my car?
Well, an AGM type battery, which is what we specialise in, that will charge within 2 to 3 hours, well, about 3 hours basically.
Okay, of just driving.
Of just driving.
So if you're going out for the day, you could plug it up, charge the battery.
Yep.
So, well, that actually charges pretty quick then. That's quicker than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, solar's a little bit slower because it depends on the size of the solar panel. So
Yeah.
every panel has a different input per every hour. Everything's rated over an hourly period.
Yeah. Okay, so say if we had a solar panel we wanted to charge it, do we just wire it straight up to it, or do you guys, can you help us figure out how to get the solar panel connected to the battery?
Yeah, well, 12 volt panels, the standard 12 volt panel will actually start up at around about 20 odd volts. So you'll need a regulator in line between the panel and the battery.
Because the 20 volts has to drop down to
around about 14.2.
14.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say, 14.2 volts.
An AGM type battery wants to charge it anywhere between 13.8 and 14.5.
Okay.
So anywhere between that. But a regulator will control that voltage and only put in what the battery wants.
And say if the battery's not coping it, we could buy a generator? That's
You
the question?
could, yeah. Generators are a great supplement to the system as well. They normally work in conjunction with a battery system. There's a lot that a generator can do that batteries can't necessarily do. Generators basically work power on demand. So again, you can have a 2,000 watt generator, 2 kVA generator,
Yeah.
and they'll run things like your heating appliances. So
My
your
hair
microwaves, your hair straightener, even though you can get a 12 volt hair straightener. You probably don't need one, but your hair dryers, that type of thing, is a generator.
Okay, but there's lots of different sizes and whatever, but people can ring you and you could give them a bit of advice?
We can help advise them.
Okay, well, look, we got one more question. And the question is, when you're connecting the vehicle to, and there's questions off of our social media sites, if you've got any questions in the future, just post it on there when we ask you. So the question's about when you connect your vehicle to your caravan or your camper trailer.
Mm-hmm.
The plug that we've got is like the rounds, is it 7-pin plug it's connected?
Yeah.
Would that charge from the car to the caravan, for instance?
A lot of the times, some manufacturers are actually having the charging point be through a 7-pin, but it's not advisable. The best connection would be through the use of an Anderson point. This is an Anderson here.
Yep.
That's a heavier duty way of actually allowing for the current to be converted through the car to the
So
caravan.
more current goes through.
120 amp hour battery can charge at 30 to 35 amps. So if you only have a socket that's rated at 10 amps and you're going for a 3-4 hour
I see.
drive, that can get very hot and it can cause melting of cables and plugs down the track.
So say if you've got the round pin on the car,
Yep.
you get an expert in and they can put another wire from
a
the
loop wire, yeah.
like a loop wire.
So you still have the 7-pin there, that will remain on the car
Yeah.
for your lights and your indicators, that type of thing. But your power feed would no longer be through your 7-pin plug, it will go through the Anderson.
So you'll actually have two plugs, the round and the Anderson plug. and
Yep,
connect
exactly. You just plug them in at the together and you're good to
Them up.
go.
Oh, it's starting to make a bit of sense now.
Yeah.
Okay, so apparently we've got a bit of a prize to
We
give
do.
away.
Yes, so
Can you tell me a bit about that?
Homer 12 Volt Mount Barker would like to offer the option to go into a draw of a DC battery box here. The DC battery box is a housing that will house up to 120 amp hour battery. It does have the projector IDC 25 DC charger mounted on top. This will be a model that's basically suitable for all new model vehicles. So it will increase the voltage output from the new model vehicles with
Through
the smart
this?
alternator
Yep.
through the DC charger and allow for a constant charge rate through to your secondary battery system, which would be in the box itself.
So the customer can just buy the right size battery they want and they pop it
Yeah.
in, you plug it up.
Straight in, it's all plug and play.
Can they connect it themselves or?
It's so simple to connect themselves, yeah.
Famous last word. Maybe give the guys a ring if you need any more help. But,
Can do.
thank you so much, Ashley. That was really good. We
Welcome.
appreciate your help.
Yep.
If you wanted to win this prize, just put a comment on our Facebook site on the post, which will put some information on there how to enter, and we'll draw it. All the details about drawing the prize will actually be on the post. So thanks a lot, Ashley. I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.